So recipe number one, I thought I'd do a classic great big batch of sloppy joes. This is a recipe I came up with years ago, and it is my go-to for a lot of special occasions that I don't want to be in the kitchen the whole time, and those occasions that you just don't want to be manning, or in my case, womaning the grill. So if you've got a crowd to serve, a birthday party, you want to do it on a budget, or whatever the occasion is, you just want to have the slow cooker filled with really yummy sloppy joes, this is your perfect recipe. This is going to make about 24 sandwiches, depending on how big you fill them. So you could certainly double, triple this recipe if you've got even a bigger crowd to feed, and then just, park the sloppy joe mixture in your Nesco roaster, and then, have it out on the, kitchen room island or table or in your garage for your garage party, and everybody can help themselves. So we're starting out with 4 pounds of ground beef. And I'm just going to get that cooking and crumbling so it's no longer pink. And I'm going to get to work and chop up some green pepper. If you absolutely don't like green pepper, you can leave it out. I happen to really like it, and I like it in this recipe. And some celery. Hey, our big night out is tomorrow night. I understand there may be a few spaces left, but you need to call today. So join us. It's still not too late. We're headed to Gather Americana in Appleton, a farm-to-table restaurant. 5-course meal paired with different wines. It's going to be a blast. I can't wait. So hope to see you there. But again, you need to call on that one today to reserve your spot. It's almost filled up, but I guess there's just a few spots left. So my son Riley is done with school for the semester. He's out of school for the summer. And my daughter Ireland takes finals this week, and she'll be done with her freshman year of high school. She's going to be a big sophomore. They get done pretty early, but they started really early. Hey, we've got the number to call, by the way, if you want to get in on this Gather Americana big night out that we're headed to tomorrow. The number is 920-750-7290, and you can get it on our website. But again, you need to call today because they're going to be, I'm sure, prepping all day today and tomorrow to make sure that everything is just perfect. Okay, so my green pepper is nice and diced. I'm going to get my green pepper, some onion, and I'm just going to work on some celery. What I love about this recipe is that you probably have most of the ingredients on hand. You don't need to go get packets of this and packets of seasoning mix and things like that. It's a real simple recipe, and it's just delicious. I still love sloppy joes. I just do. This must be the kid in me. I don't know what the deal is, but I happen to love them. The sloppier, the better. Just get lots of napkins out. Serve it with some chips or tater tots, and I'm a happy camper. So I'm going to finally dice up some celery, too. We also have picked our next big book club book. We had an awesome book club meeting last week. And so go get the book and read along with us. We're actually reading one of the books from the author of Sue Monk Kidd is the author's name, and she wrote the wonderful book Secret Life of Bees, which is one of my favorites. So she's got a new book out. It's getting rave reviews, so that's what we're going to be reading. It's called The Invention of Wings. My mother-in-law just read it. She's an avid reader, and she said she just could not put it down. So that's what we're going to be reading. We've got plenty of time. Our next book club meeting isn't until July. So if you're looking for a good summer beach read or just something to dive into, please join us, read along. It's great fun. I love reading, and then it's no fun if you've read a great book and you have nobody to talk to about it. So that's why I thought book club was such a great idea, and it's been really, really fun. We're at a new place that's sponsoring it, the Bottle Room in Swamico, and they did a fantastic job last week. Put out all sorts of munchies, really wonderful place. If the weather's cooperating, we may even do book club outside this summer, which would be really lovely. Okay, this is a big bunch of meat, 4 pounds, so I want to season it well with salt and pepper. This is a recipe too that you can certainly make a couple days ahead, probably even up to 3 days ahead, and park it in your fridge and then just throw it in your slow cooker to warm it up. And when I'm having parties, that is one of the ways I roll. As much as I can get done ahead of time, I do. I kind of do a to-do list. And there are some things that you just can't do until the day of, but there are certainly lots of things that you can make ahead of time, dips, and these sloppy joes, things like that. So then the day of the party, you're not running around like a crazy person. You can actually enjoy your party. Some of the pasta salads and potato salads you can make ahead. Speaking of which, we're going to make an awesome pasta salad using the asparagus that's in season right now, coming up a little later on in the show. I love asparagus. I just do. I think it's my all-time favorite veggie, and it's just gorgeous right now at the grocery stores. Soon it'll be in our yards and at the farmers markets and things like that. So while it's a short season, I like to really go crazy for asparagus while it's in season. So we're going to take that and make a great big nice batch of pasta salad, which is perfect for all the summer parties and potlucks and end of the year type things that you have to bring a dish to pass. No mayonnaise in this recipe, so stick around for that. Okay. Let's move on with the Sloppy Joe recipe. 1 small can of tomato paste. Just going to open that can. This was really lean ground beef. So I don't see any grease at all to drain, so we are good to go. We're just going to start adding the rest of the ingredients. The beef is really nice and crumbly thanks to the chop and stir. Okay, so 1 can of tomato paste, 4 cups of ketchup. I know that seems like a lot, but we've got a lot of beef here. Apple cider vinegar, that's one of the secret ingredients, and brown sugar. So we've got a little bit of the tang from the apple cider vinegar and a little bit of sweetness from the brown sugar. A few dashes, the recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce to really give it some nice beefy flavor. I remember making this for my uncle and his wife at the cottage, and they had like seconds or thirds. It was a busy day. We had gone on a really neat drive and hikes. So it was one of those days where we had gotten up early and just did a bunch of things up at our cottage, which I can hardly wait to do this summer. It's been such a long winter that I think we're all chomping at the bit to go do those favorite summer things. But anyway, we went to that shipwreck museum that they have in the UP of Upper Michigan. And then we did just it was one of those busy days. So at the end of the day, I threw this together, and it never tasted so good. They loved it. Served it with some tater tots, and it was like we were kids again. Everybody loves sloppy joes. And now we're going to add some water. Now at this point, I want to let this simmer for a little bit until that water cooks down and the veggies get nice and tender and all the flavors really come together. This recipe really is kind of like lasagna in that it does tend to get better if it sits in the refrigerator overnight, so it is the perfect make-ahead for parties.